Today, we are driving the 2021 BMW 740i. Just to give you an introduction to this car, I did some research finally for once, and this has the same engine as the Supra, the BMW Z4 M40i, and the M340i. So it's got a B58, long ass wheelbase. And so the thing is, if you're familiar with this channel, I am a sports car loving enthusiast. Okay, I have a 2025 Miata, and I thought it would be interesting to find out whether I can understand the point of a vehicle like this. How am I supposed to get out, bro? This is so janky. So I don't want to spoil what I want to talk about in this video yet, but I don't know if you can tell. Dude, this hood is just so tall, I can't see anything. So South Korea has an obsession with luxury sedans. I mean, look, this is a Maybach. Nice green Maybach. Oh, look at that. See? S63 AMG. We got a G90 Genesis, a G80. There's all these, like, an E300. You see, if America has this obsession with, like, sport SUVs, South Korea has an obsession with luxury sedans. And I think it's an unhealthy obsession because of how small this country is. This country is 4 times smaller than the state of California. Okay? And we have like 50, 60 million people living here. It's not like these 50 million people spread out across the whole like square footage of the country, right? Like they all kind of live towards the city, like Seoul or I can't. What? Relax. Shh. My point is, South Korea is probably one of the most congested places on. Shut the bro. Why? Okay, so before this car rudely interrupted my speech, I was talking about how. What was I talking about? This place is one of the most congested places on the planet. If a place is this congested, you would think that people buy small vehicles like they do in Europe, right? You know, like if you think about it, all the parking spaces are tiny. I don't know if I can go. Oh, I should have gone. Yeah, all the parking spaces are tiny. There's not that much space on the road. There's a lot of congestion. You would probably look for something small. Well, that's not how South Koreans think, right? South Koreans think that wealth is something to be flaunted. Look at how many big long wheelbase cars there are just on the street, right? That's a A7, I think. A8, I think it's an A8. 8 series. I can't name these cars for some reason. Sorry, I'm a sports car enthusiast, not a luxury sedan enthusiast. Another Maybach, another 7 series right next to us. My point is, I think it's kind of counterintuitive. You would think that all these people want to drive around in those things, right? Like they do in Japan. Like in Japan, everyone drives these like K cars, right? But no, in South Korea, everyone wants to look rich and they want to get a big luxurious sedan. And so I guess today we're just going to try and find out whether this car makes any sense at all to have in South Korea. So before we hop into this investigation, I just need to find somewhere to park real quick just to show you what this car is about. But I can't even find anywhere to park.
650m 앞 시속 60km 구간입니다.
Oh my god,
속도에 주의하십시오.
how do I get you to not talk, bro? Okay, so everyone's turning into each other. Apparently this is just how things work. And I'm gonna try, oh, okay. That didn't work. Okay, well, shit. This is my point, dude. I can't even park up somewhere to talk about this car for a second because this is how tight this country is. You know what, dude? You know what? I'm just gonna do what everyone else does in this country, which is just... Okay, I don't need you to tell me that there's a freaking... This key is $1,300 and it unlocks like an iPhone. I don't know what this says, to be honest. You can check what the car's about, I guess. You can check some car information. It just turned off on me. I have to, okay. It tells you the range. when you're gonna start your vehicle, I guess you can like make an appointment to start up the vehicle. And yeah, I mean, like, why does a car need something like this, right? Like, $1,300 key. That's problem number one. Big ass key too, by the way. My hands are pretty big. Soft leather, really nice. This is a really nice suede material all around. See, the dashboard is all leather. This is all soft leather. You gotta, whoa. Wait, yo, this back seat is nice as hell, bro. Holy shit. Whoa. No way. Why doesn't it work? Okay, I would think this is supposed to work, but it's not really doing anything. Okay, well, you got seat controls that don't work. This is all wood too. Wow, this is... Damn, bro. Dude, no way. Wait, can you take this out? What the fuck? Bruh. No way. So this car comes with a tablet that I can't turn on for some reason. Wow. Oh my god. Wait, this headrest is nice too. Holy. Oh yeah, dude. Okay. Why can't... Guys, I'm locked in. Okay. Oh god. Okay. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, so I'm not saying I don't totally understand the whole luxury thing, but you know what? Look, listen. Maybe if you had a chauffeur, it would be pretty nice, right? But I guarantee you most of the people driving around in 7 Series and Maybachs and all of that, they don't have drivers or chauffeurs driving them around.
650m 앞 시속 60km 구간입니다. 속도에 주의하십시오.
Oh, this B58 is nice though. Yeah. Super smooth. Anyways, the point I was trying to make is that maybe I'm making this video from a really biased perspective, right? I daily drive a manual Miata, but just like from that perspective, okay? Like I can't just get rid of my personality. I struggle to see the point in having this like wood trim and this leather dashboard and this nice felt roof, because like what does it really do for me at the end of the day? Like like when I'm driving in day-to-day traffic, am I really going to notice whether my dashboard is full leather or not? And if I want to impress other people, are other people really going to get in the car and talk about the dashboard being leather? And you know, like if I was just constantly driving in South Korean traffic all the time, I understand that like I want to be insulated from the experience because the traffic is so bad. But at the same time, I don't think I'd ever want like a super long wheelbase vehicle because there's just not that much space, right? Like parking is a pain in the ass here. Dude, like look how congested these roads are and how small these lanes are. It's kind of gross. Another Maybach. So many Maybachs, man. No way. A 992.2 GT3 in South Korea. That's crazy. Yeah, see, okay. See now, this is my point. Let's just do a thought experiment for a second, right? Let's say you're living in a really, really congested place like South Korea. Would you rather drive around in a 226-inch wheelbase Beamer, or would you want to drive around in a Porsche GT3? I'm not gonna lie, I would rather be in this car than a GT3. The speed limit everywhere is like 30, 40 kilometers per hour. Super congested. I don't even think you can redline first gear in the GT3 in this country, which is actually kind of insane. Let's see the sound system. I could get used to this, bro. Oh my god. So yeah, the purpose of a long executive luxury sedan is to make your life easier. But I don't think this car makes life any easier in South Korea. If anything, it makes it harder, right? The purpose of a naturally aspirated sports car is to make life exciting. But I don't think driving one of those cars out in the real world, like in South Korea, or even Orange County traffic, or Los Angeles traffic, or, you know, other city traffic, is any exciting. And I think we just live in a really, really funny world where we have all these purpose-built machines that are actually really, really cool, right? But you just can't enjoy any of them. Like last week, I filmed an Aston Martin Vantage. Why do you need an Aston Martin Vantage in South Korea? And the thing is, just being in this incredibly lucky position to be able to experience a lot of these more expensive cars, I think I've come to this realization that there's really no reason to lust after these really nice cars. Because reality is, you get yourself a Porsche or a Ferrari and you can't use 20% of that thing on the street. Or maybe you lust after like a Mercedes, right? Like maybe you want a Lamborghini Urus, or maybe you want a BMW 7 Series or a Maybach or whatever. But even then, like, I don't know, bro. I personally think that like you're just making life harder for yourself, because now you have to worry about where you're parking. Does the quality of your life really meaningfully change whether you drive a Maybach or a Honda Civic? I don't think so. Like, I would rather personally, if I was even like even if I was like a billionaire, right? Like, I think if I was going out to the city, I would want like a GR Corolla at best. You know, and in many cases, it actually makes your life harder because the car's too big for your environment and it's too much to think about. But I guess the morale of this video is to say that if you can afford a Honda Civic,
350m 앞 시속
shut up! Moral of the story, a Honda Civic is all the car you need, and anything more than that is excessive and it's unnecessary, and anything more than a Honda Civic deserves to be shit on.